Oh dear, it's been a while, hasn't it? A long time. God, it must be almost a year since Seventh Head came out, and almost that long since this has. Been delayed by a few things, one of which you'll find out at the end of the video, but you will have to watch all of it first, unless you go here. So, how about my rabid addiction to alcohol and tobacco? Oh yeah, recycling day, and I clean my room. But don't worry, I still collect all the bottle caps. Yes. Oh, hang on. No, wait. Yes. Isn't that good fun? Anyway. So yes, it's been a while. I've had this for a while, and as such, it's a little dog-eared around the corners. Yes, space wolves, or space puppies, as they're known to some people. We've got a big shiny man on the front, and he's going wah. Except not wah, because that's orcs. I know orcs like to go wah because they're amazing. Anyway, we have Space Wolfy Man with his big axe, because that's what they use. I'm going to try and hopefully keep this short, be a bit more unforgiving with myself regarding to jump cuts and whatever. Ooh, lights in the sky. Right, open that up. What have we got? I have no idea if that's new or not. I don't know. And it's in black and white, presumably because space wolves, like dogs, can only see it in black and white. Carrying on. That's useful. Can you tell that we are wolf themed by any chance? So, introduction, blah blah blah. Oh, ooh, orcs! But only in the background. Not many in the foreground. Oh, there's one. Oh, he's getting killed. That's not good. Silly. Okay, the fluff. I don't have any of the previous codexes, and I'm not really a Space Wolf fan. I am a Space Wolf fan. I've got all the Ragnar books, but I haven't played them as an army. I don't have the other codexes. They are my second favourite Marine Codex, after the good old Salamanders. There he is, isn't he lovely? But it's, you know, they're a bit different, a bit wild and whatever. So yeah, how much stuff has actually changed regarding the background, I'm not entirely sure. There is a bit about the fact that after the second founding, they were only split once and it wasn't a success. So they're kind of like a small legion or something. I don't know if that was, you know, stuff in the previous editions. Going on, I got Fenris. Oh, the Fenris system. That's quite good fun. Pictures, initiation. The trial of the beast. Warriors of the Fang, the great companies. Aha! There they are, the great companies. Including the Wolfen. Or as they're called here, the Wolfenkind, for whatever reason. And some of the characters. A little bit more about these guys than we got various people in the Orc Codex. Now... there is one big issue with the fluff, and you can kind of tell who wrote it. And I think back in the day, I think we know who wrote this, and this is of very similar style. All the bombast, it's too over the top, it's sort of dark and gritty in an almost sort of condescending way. I know this is supposed to be the grim dark of the far future, but it feels so horrible. There's no struggle, and there's no difficulty. Everyone's amazing, everyone's perfect. The Mary Suing going on, as in all of the things that a certain someone has wrote. It's just not particularly fun to read. Case in point, Harold Deathwolf. I mean, there's one piece here about his boss is slain by a lucky blow from an orc warlord, as if killing an orc warlord is a trivial matter, as opposed to, in most other fluff, it's some amazing feat that is told off in the legends in the chapter. I mean, like in the Ragnar book, he joins and someone whispers in hushed tones about how one of the commanders had killed an orc war boss. And one of the Salamander's books, where it takes 10 Terminators, a captain, and 2 squads to bring down a war boss. And here it's So yeah, they've made a bit of a shaggy dog story about that. No, we can't be going on with this. Right, hang on. Oh God, there's a fly in the room. Get away. Yeah, so it's this whole story about Harold is a bit too OTT. Not much character. There's no struggle and there's no difficulty. It talks about how he kills off the war boss, whatever, that wasn't hard. And then there's something about him fighting this, what was it, a Thousand Suns guy? Yeah. Some sorcerer. It was over here, yes. Who he chases after. You might say he was hounding him. And then in the most ridiculous way, it simply mentions how he beats up some guy and there's a Lord of Change on his ship. So he comes back and you would expect some, a little story about how he managed to defeat one of the most powerful beings in the 40k universe. But no, it just says, in this glorious charge, Harold Deathwolf banished the greater demon. As if it's nothing. They made a dog's dinner out of that. So, going on. Ragnar. He's a bit more interesting. And there's his company in more detail. And then we got all the different stories, the battles, whatnot. There's an underwater one against the Tau. Yes. Right, pictures. Filler. How to paint blue, how to paint blue, how to paint blue. How to shoot blue things in red light. And again, and again, and again, and there's some things, and some more things. War gear list. I think if you've seen the last video, you are aware of my feelings on this matter. Some of these things, I know what they do because they're standard things, but like wolf claws, what do? I don't know. It's just, it's a bit grumbly. But, okay, what have we got next? The actual units. So our basic special rules are acute senses and counter-attack, as they have been for many years. So that's nice to keep that consistent. We've got the Wolf Lord, who is basically just your Space Marine captain. I think it's pretty much similar stats or something. I think so. You can take similar sort of upgrades. I will get to the relics at some point. Ragnar Blackmane, who is a very disappointing rules-wise. 3-up save, same stat line as the Wolf Lord. He's got a relic which is rending mastercrafted, but it's only AP 3. So him being a sort of, challengey type person is a bit daft. And oh, he's got a few special rules that help him out. Special warlord trait. But yeah, disappointing and silly and ridiculous. Though not quite as ridiculous as this rumour of space wolves riding giant wolves. That would be completely and utterly ridiculous. Oh, I'm not sure how to follow that up. Okay, let's be a slightly more sensible here. Okay, 40k is what's sometimes known as future fantasy and often going into the likes of space opera, like Star Wars, or maybe on the other end, Barbarella, Jane Fonda and Zero Gravity. Although I get the feeling that Duran Duran wouldn't be writing a piece about Vikings riding wolves in space. This, I think, kind of jumps the shark, or jumps the dog, or something. Does that count? Does that... whatever. Yeah, it's silly. And it doesn't sort of make much sense within the setting. I know we have, the fish people and metal undead warriors and bio creatures and orcs and snotlings and squigs and squiggoths and all those slightly odd things, but this is theming for the sake of theming, and I think it's just gone too far, I think. And why would you do it? I mean, it's not some strange alien beast, it's a big wolf. It's just going to get shot out from under you. Very silly. Anyway, what have we got? Harold Deathwolf. What's he like? He's got... he's got extra toughness and whatever and stuff. Lord of the Wolfkin. What does that do? Blah 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 blah. Oh, well, they can use his leadership if they're close to him. Fair enough. He can't be affected by pyromancy. That's a bit situational, isn't it? And he can take some wolves to run alongside him on his big wolf. Right. Whatever. Oh, and Canis Wolfborn, who I don't know about the previous fluff, but in the new... He's now some bloke that Harold Deathwolf found in the snow and presumably gave a good home to. Oh, for God's sake. Right, carrying on. Yeah, he's a big, scary, wild man that rides a cybernetic giant wolf, if we could get any more silly. And apparently he plods around the Fang, and Harold has to keep a short leash on him. Oh dear. Right, carrying on. Let's try and get that to a minimum, shall we? Rune Priest. Da da da. Biomancy, demonology, divination, telekinesis, and tempestus, which I believe, yes, is the Space Wolf powers. I have no idea what they do, any of them, but we'll find out what the psychic powers are like later. Giles Stormcaller. He's back. Has he still got that silly spell? I don't know. Don't know. Don't tell me that that silly spell is the one that anyone can use. That would be naughty. Anyway. Wolf Priest. Which are basically the same. Ooh, that's quite good. Oath of War. Aha. That's quite cool. Do you want me to tell you what it is, or do you want to find out? You can just go on Warseer and, you know, read up on it. Who we got? Ulrich the Slayer, who is actually kind of cool. He helps out with pretty much anyone, since he gives people preferred enemy. And stubborn for the actual, well, actually for even more people. That's kind of cool. So yeah, he's not too expensive, and he's pretty good in, yeah, looks like a Wolf Lord. Oh, slightly less attacks, but whatever, he's quite cool. The Wolf Guard, yes, which you can attach to other units, I believe. Is that right? Or something. I can't see, and I can't be asked to read because we've got to get on. Bjorn the Fell-Handed, that's a car going past. That's a door banging. So, what have we got? Bjorn the Fell-Handed, he's kind of the same. He's got a heavy flame. Yep. Oh, he's got shred on his mastercrafted lightning claw thing, and you can actually swap out his weapon, which is nice. He is expensive though. Nice stats. Blah blah. Venerable save, and he's venerable. That's kind of cool. Blood of Claws. Oh, that would be my yes. Blood Claws. Still a bit po weapon skill, but this is skill 3, and are they cheap? They are reasonably cheap, yes, so I'm guessing that their scouts aren't troops. So yeah, we got some cheap troops for objective grabbing. Lucas! He's kind of cool. He was in the previous codex. Oh, he doesn't use up a slot if he's with some blood claws. Blah blah, and he's got his, whatchamacallit. If you kill him, he kind of might take you with him. Grey Hunters. Pretty much the same. As far as I can tell, there's quite a lot of options. Most of them are the same, I believe. Yeah. Okay, Iron Priest. Yeah, pretty much the same as Attack Praise Servitors. Again, pretty much the same. Wolf Scouts, who are, yes, they are elites. With his cover, Scout, Counterattack, Infiltrate. Doesn't seem like they've got their old special rule, which is a bit boring. Lone Wolves, I have no idea whether or not they're actually any good. They're interesting. Cheapish, actually pretty cheap. Yeah, bloody cheap. You could upload to those, that's kind of cool. Dreadnought. Looking all Viking-y because you have to, because you're Space Wolves. Big Axe, what's it called? A Fenrisian Great Axe and Blizzard Shield, because you have to name things after your theming. Although it's not too bad in here. It's not like the old Blood Angel Codex with the blood missiles and the blood sword and the blood and whatever. Murder King Fang, who is like a special character, another special character Dreadnought, who is like something that they unleash at terrible times, which means, of course, all the time, because everything is unleashed in times of great peril and whatever. And then presumably when they're done, they time back up and return him to the bound. Wolfguard, who oh, they're an actual, yes, you had the Wolfguard leaders, and these are the actual units. So they're veterans. Terminators, again, kind of the same. Can they take wolf claws? I don't know. Oh, that's the door again. Arjak Rockfist. Oh, he's, what's his face? Whatchamacallit? Grimnar's, bodyguard. His guard dog. Swift Claws, because you have to rename things. They can't just be Space Wolf, Marine, Space Wolf Bikers. No, they have to be called something else. Dun, 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 dun. Rhino, boring. Razorback, boring. Dropboard. Ah, the Storm Wolf, which they get instead of the Storm Raven, which is kind of cool. And apparently its silhouette looks like that, a head of a wolf. That's the kind of theming we want. That's cool. Not your... yes, here we go. Here's our silly in all its glory. Oh, and of course they have very little weaknesses. They're just... oh, and you can give them storm shields, and it's just... well, you've seen all the tournament lists and lists that people write and put up on the forums. It's just... ugh. Incidentally, yes, I am on the side of them being strength toughness 4 for the purposes of doubling, because that's what the rule says. Though, I can see why people get confused. And Fenrisian Wolves, which you can actually take as a separate unit and not just an upgrade for a character. You can have units of 15, and you can upgrade 1 to a Cyber Wolf. Isn't that good? They're cheap. Yeah, they're pretty cheap. Probably the cheapest unit you got in the Codex. So that could be useful. Fast attack. Yeah. Sky Claws, because they can't just be Space Wolf Assault Marines. Are they any special? Oh, they've got Rage. That's kind of cool. What have we got? Land Speeders. Pretty much the same. Yep. Stormfang gunship. It's got the big Hellfrost thing on it, which is like the new weapon type that you can have. Long Fangs, are they any different? Split Fire, yep. Yeah, he's got there, pretty much the same. Vindicator the same. Whirlwind the same. Predator. Look at that hair. Look at that hair, that's marvellous. Oh dear. Land Raider. What could we do with the Land Raider? Land Raider Crusader, Land Raider Redeemer. There are many Land Raiders, and you can buy them all. And Logan Grimnar, who is for some reason on a chariot that would just... and it flies, so he can go over things, but then he has it pulled by ground-based things instead of, you know, a flying thing. And it's just, silly. Silly. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, it's an option, he doesn't have to have it. Marvellous. Good. Where did he? Relics of the Fang. Axe Morkai, of course. The Storm Rider is a chariot. Is it a chariot? It's not. I don't think. Oh no, yes, sorry, it is. What am I talking about? Yeah. And it gives him stuff. Great Company, which I believe is that. Oh, it's a generic. It's not anyone specific. You've got some rules. Reroll your warlord traits. That's pretty standard for a formation. Cunning of the Wolf. You might get outflank and... oh, are all the warlords alive? All units in the formation have fear and furious charge. That's kind of cool. Although it is pretty big. You're going to have a lot of units. Bloody hell. Right, so some more pretty pictures.